Listen, I'm absolutely suffused with the Christmas spirit, but don't push me too far.
So do as you're told and pull a cracker.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there, as we've run out of the time we always allocate to frothy whimsy. So,
Just when things were going well, or actually just a little bit after they were going well, a potentially big problem develops.
I've come to the end of my career.
And you'd be right, but. And mine is a big but.
I do impressions, you know.
Not on this programme, you don't.
Barry does them all.
Oh, that's nice. I'll just go and get my bum bag.
Look, Mush, you're spoiling our Christmas. Liven yourself up, boy.
The sooner we do it, the sooner we can all get over to the Duck and Pull It and smash a few down.
Is this the best the BBC can do?
We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell, and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Hello and welcome to a special Christmas edition of I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. You join us in the Radio Theatre in Broadcasting House, where our studio audience will be delighted by a bumper show. Plus a fine display of hubcaps and wing mirrors. Now, when I think back on what a year 1995 has been for this programme, all that comes to mind is award after award. But I'm pleased to say that Matron has granted the teams a temporary day release, so let me introduce them to you now. They are on my left, Barry Cryer and Graeme Garden. And on my right, Willie Rushton and Tim Brooke-Taylor. And a warm seasonal welcome, please, for a lady whose name is synonymous with scoring, the very lovely Samantha. Incidentally, Samantha was telling me she went vegetarian this year. But she says she has had some pheasant and a bit of partridge this Yuletide. Perhaps she'll even enjoy a little goose. Either way, it's nice to see her back on the game. Now, since this is a Christmas special, teams, we'll need to get off to a cracking start. So while Samantha passes round the walnuts, let's play a game of celebrity misquotes. Though there have been plentiful records and articles documenting things that famous people have said during 1995, there are very few records of things they never said. In fact, if it wasn't for our tabloid newspapers, we'd have very little idea who hadn't said what at all. So, teams, with this in mind, I'd like you please to come up with some sound bites that were never uttered by people in the news during the past year. And, Barry, will you start, please?
Cedric Brown, boss of British Gas. Loads of money!
Willie.
Michelle Pfeiffer. My goodness, I'd like to get that Rushton under the mistletoe and...
Tim.
Julia Somerville. Someday my prince will come.
Graeme.
O.J. Simpson. How great, I've been looking for those gloves.
Kelvin Mackenzie. My word, I'd like to get that Janet Street porter under the mistletoe. Fred West.
Oh, God.
No. I just wanted to frighten you, that's all.
Queen Mother. Come on, nurses, let's conga.
The artist, Damien Hirst. Whoops, sorry, Daisy.
Duchess of York. No, I'll pay.
Bruce Grobbelaar. Careful, the lawyers are in. I'm a dedicated follower of Fashionoo.
Any more? Our next round is a musical one entitled Chaz and Dave and was inspired by those evergreen Cockney favourites, Anne Ziegler and Webster Booth. In this round, I'd like you please to provide renditions of certain well-known Christmas songs or carols, but in the style of Chaz and Dave. You'll be accompanied on the piano by London's very own Colin Sell, the man behind many a West End standard. Express, Mail, and a variety of other papers on his popular newsstand. Tim and Willie, I'd like you to start by providing a Chaz and Dave rendition of We Three Kings.
Kings of Orient are, oi, bearing gifts we traverse afar, oi, field and found and moor and mound and honouring yonder star, rabbit, 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 star of wonder, star of light, star with loyal beauty right, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Good job, good job. Born a king on Bethlehem plain, oi, gold I bring to crown him again, gold, ever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. He's a corker, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light, perfect light, 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 perfect light, light, light. This could go on all bleeding night.
You and your accompaniment came adrift a bit in that one, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised with Colin Sell banging on regardless. OK, your turn, Barry and Graeme. I'd like you to sing Aled Jones's big hit Walking in the Air, again in the style of Chaz and Dave.
Walking in the air, we're floating in the moonlight sky. The people far below are sleeping as we fly, aye, aye, very high. We're holding very tight, minds are light, very tight. We're riding in a midnight blue, wallop, wallop, look at you. We're finding I can fly so high above with you. Good job, good job. Right across the world, the villages go by like dreams. The rivers and the hills, the forests and the streams. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Children gaze, open mouth, taken by surprise. Wallop, wallop, nobody down below believes their eyes. We're surfing in the air, we're swimming in the frozen sky, very high in the sky. We're drifting over icy mountains, floating by, 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 by. Wallop, good chap. Good chap. Closing time. Your glasses,
please. Well, that was pretty festive. Let's go on now to a round called Word for Word, in which the team should take it in turns to utter words that are totally unconnected from the subject of my choosing. We had planned to call it No Connections, but our lawyers told us that this title has already been copyrighted for British Rail after privatisation. Teams, I'd like you please to exchange a series of words that have no possible link to Christmas. So, if, for example, the expressions exciting, new, and TV programme were heard, that would be perfectly okay. The opposing team should challenge if they spot a seasonal connection. Right, Tim and Willie, will you start us off, please?
Fun.
shipwreck.
Cheap.
Lumberjack.
Paraglider.
Stoat.
Graeme, challenge.
Yeah, there's a shipwreck in Sinbad the Sailor.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So what?
So?
Well, that's a pantomime that goes on at Christmas.
It isn't?
I thought it was Arabian Nights, wasn't a pantomime at all, was it? Sinbad?
No, not a do-not.
No.
Is it not,
yes,
audience? Is it not? Oh, yes, it is. Quite right.
Well, let me know if you've come to a decision. What shall I do?
Take the money.
There is a shipwreck in Deep Wixington.
a challenge from the same person.
I just challenged myself.
Yes, I'm going to uphold that.
Well done, Willie.
Oh, good.
No, not that one, the one before.
Could you just remind us of what it was, Humph?
What was? What was?
Your judgment.
Impeccable.
I just told you what my judgment was.
Right.
Listen, I'm absolutely suffused with the Christmas spirit, but don't push me too far. Barry and Graeme, will you carry on?
Sack.
Challenge.
It's rather sad, I think, that when this time many people are made redundant at the festive tide.
I don't think compassion is a valid reason for a challenge, so carry on, Graeme and Barry.
Egg. Stocking. Bikini. Reindeer. Beach.
Challenge there from Tim.
Who are you calling a beach?
Challenge from Willie.
Many Australians enjoy the Yuletide log on Bondi Beach. They all go out and they turn a turkey on the spit, or they spit on the turkey, quite frankly. They're not very well-behaved people. Anyway, a beach figures large in the Australian Christmas, I can tell you that.
What's that got to do with anything?
I don't know.
Right, carry on.
Yuletide.
Dormitory.
Sock.
Wet nurse.
Fungus.
Challenge.
Wet nurses use socks. It's a well-known remedy for almost any ailment in boarding schools.
Sorry, what's this got to do with Christmas exactly?
Wet nurses use socks. There is a connection at Christmas in the dormitory when excitement runs high.
I was in a boarding school for 6 years and I don't remember ever having seen a wet nurse during the whole of that time.
You dreamt about it, though, didn't you, Hump?
The next round is dedicated to the many disappointing seasonal gifts that we'll all be giving and receiving this Christmas. It's entitled Grotto. Now, the giving of presents is a practice that dates back to the very first Christmas, when three wise men arrived bearing the gifts of gold, frankincense, and a Terry's chocolate orange. In this round, I'd like one team to suggest some Christmas gifts, which they'd like Santa to bring them for Christmas, and the opposing team, in the guise of Santa and his elf, should suggest the disappointing substitute that they're likely to end up with. So, Barry and Graeme, would you start us off, please, by suggesting some gifts from the Christmas list you brought with you?
Go on, Baz.
I'd like the Beatles anthology.
What we can offer you is the I Spy Book of Insects.
I'm afraid that's the best we can do.
I speak as an elf.
And this question's for number 2. Santa, what I would like is a jacuzzi.
Yes. Well, ho, ho, ho. Jacuzzi. I can let you have a tin bath and a can of beans. And the rest is up to you.
I would like...
Hello, little fellow. What a cheery... funny little shorts you have. You're a sitting duck for a deviant.
I know my own business best. I would like
get
a week's ballooning in the Alps.
What about an evening with Nicholas Soames?
Eric's Jay.
Well, what we do now is to go over to Tim and Willie with their list.
Ho, ho.
I'd like a video of the Three Tenors.
Oh, an excellent present, yes. What I can give you is a photo of 85p.
Wasn't quite what I had in mind.
Well, I would like a bearded wonder.
Yes.
I'd like a trip to Paris on Eurostar.
Well, I think with cutbacks I can give you a trip to Bart's with a urine test.
What about you, Sonny?
I'd like a suite at the Savoy.
Well, all right, I could let you have a sherbet dab in the Asda car park.
Sounds preferable to me. Little elf.
Have you come to the end of your list?
I've come to the end of my career.
Well, I wasn't going to say it. It's time now for our next round, which is called Who Gets the Sixpence? As you'll appreciate, no Yuletide celebration would be complete without the usual accompaniments of gently roasted nuts, a plump bird and a good stuffing. Teams, the other day while nosing about in my pantry, I came upon some of my delicious homemade Christmas pudding, a treat which is almost as celebrated as my fabled spotted dick. So if listeners will excuse us for a few moments, I shall now invite the teams to partake of my pudding. The winner will be the first person to find the lucky sixpence. OK, teams, start eating now, please.
I lost my spoon. Oh.
Very good, Hump. What do you use for fruit?
The fruit? Any old...
I can taste some fruit. There you go.
One of these raisins is wandering about. If I thought it possible, I'd say it was doing aerobics. There's Delia Smith.
For those listening at home, that's Colin Selve tinkering about in the background.
Have you been missing your mouthpiece for your trumpet recently, Hump?
Well, that's where it is.
Either that, or several of your fillings have gone.
Have you been missing your trumpet, Hump?
There's a deaf aid in here.
Can you chew a bit quicker, please? They're getting restive in
I've no trace of a sixpence in mine.
Nope.
No. There's a euro.
You finished him.
An emu?
I have to be honest, that was disgusting, Hump.
Well, I thought it was pretty good myself.
Signed photograph. Oh, singed photograph, sorry.
And you finished, Graeme?
No sixpence.
Yeah, no sixpence.
So I.
No, Willie, you finished?
Yeah.
No sixpence?
No.
Yeah.
And Barry, you finished too?
Mean old bastard.
Well, the BBC never coughed up, so I didn't see why I should. Now it's time to play a regular favourite called Sound Charades. This is adapted from an ancient Chinese game called miming, where the object was to describe a favourite 14th century porcelain vase. Our version of this highly amusing, highly entertaining and highly witty game differs only in a few areas. The one's just after highly. And of course, in this game, the teams are permitted the use of their mouths. So, teams, I'd like you please to enact the titles of various entertainments from stage, screen or wireless, likely to be seen or heard over the Christmas period. Tim and Willie, you're going to start, and your title will shortly be broadcast to our studio audience via the luminescent magic of the laser-projected, computer-controlled hologram imager screen. While listeners at home will hear the mystery voice.
Mother Goose. Mother Goose.
Right, Barry and Graeme, you'll have to try and guess what this is. Tim and Willie, is it a film, TV programme or what?
Two words, theatre.
Christmas show. We'll start now. Ready?
Yes.
Oedipus?
Yes, Mum?
Don't do that.
There's a family connection here. What? Mum, as in mother.
Yes.
Oedipus' mother. Oedipus indulging in a ploy that his mother didn't like.
I think it's Mother Goose.
I would concur.
It's your turn now, Barry and Graeme, and your title is now going up on the hologram imager screen. And here's the mystery voice for listeners at home.
The Queen's Speech. The Queen's Speech.
Right, what is it, Barry and Graeme?
It's a TV programme.
It's 3 words. Begin. Hamish, nice to have you here for Christmas. You'll have had your dinner.
Oh, well, no, what?
Would you like to see my hives?
Oh, how very unpleasant.
No. No. Oh, the bees. No. You misconstrue.
Oh,
Come down the bottom of the garden here and see my jolly swarm.
Oh, the bees, the wee
yes,
bees.
They've settled. They've settled now, bless them, and they're feeding on the honey as usual, but... look at her.
Oh, she's a big one, isn't she?
She's over there.
Aye.
She's got her own wee meal there.
And what's that she's eating?
What? She's eating?
Aye.
That succulent fruit.
That's a very succulent-looking fruit.
Anybody comes near that, it's the fear of death in them.
That's her own fruit, then.
It's
the succulent fruit, is it? Well.
You're very observant.
And you put it in yourself every day?
Anyway, come in the gazebo. I've something to show you.
Oh, well. This succulent fruit, what do you call it?
I would have thought it was obvious, Hamish.
Tim and Willie, can I just tell you something? They always tell you on these radio shows that even if you know the answer, to sort of hedge round it a little bit, you know, to kind of entertain the audience. Well, forget it.
Queen and fruit. Queen and fruit. Well, there's a few of them around the building, I believe.
Pomegranate.
They call her Queenie.
We don't know it. Well, I don't know it. Bees?
Bees?
Is there a fruit? Is fruit relevant?
The fruit. Very much. Terribly relevant.
Oh, it's 3 words.
The Queen's melons. They must be appropriate.
Close.
Pursue that route.
The Queen's pear.
Pear of Queen.
Don't forget you've only got 30 seconds.
Oh.
The Queen's... what are we...
I can't believe this is happening.
Mother Gooseberry.
Does a banana come into it anyway?
Only on Channel 4.
We give up.
Oh. Give them a clue.
What? Peach.
Oh, it's the Queen's peach.
I've always thought it's the Queen's... I always thought it was a Christmas message. It's not called a Queen's speech at all.
No, it is called the Christmas message. That's why we didn't get it.
That was boom. Oh, dear. Bad losers.
Right, it's now time for a game called Complete Carol. One of the true thrills of the festive season comes from seeing the cherubic faces of carol singers huddled together in the cold on your doorstep. And then pretending to be out. In this round, teams, I shall provide you with some interrupted lines from well-known Christmas carols or songs, which I'd like you to complete. And Tim, we're going to start with you. Can you complete the following seasonal opening? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to...
Put your underpants on your head and pretend you're a druid. Mother. Have you never done that? Oh, in that case, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, how awful.
OK, Barry, ding-dong merrily on high.
Put it away, sir. We've all seen it. Come on down.
Willie, here's one for you. Willie, take your little drum with your whistle.
Stop that, madam. It's not a real whistle.
Graeme, this is for you. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la, la 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 la.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. And God knows why Paulie Yates christened you that.
Right, here's a few for anyone to complete. Hark the herald.
Ah, hark the Harold Macmillan impersonation. I'm dead now.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Have you got a battery in that hearing aid?
That was jolly good. Now, our next round is a version of an old favourite called Cheddar Gorge, which we've given a royal flavour, but for Christmas we've called it The Madness of Cheddar Gorge. In Cheddar Gorge, the idea is for each team member to exchange a single word in order to make up a sentence, the object being not to complete the sentence. In this version, the idea is for team members to exchange a single word in order to make up the Queen's Christmas message to the Commonwealth.
Not the Queen's speech.
I noticed in the pub before the show that the panellists have all been practicing convincing impressions of Her Majesty. For example, none of them seem to be carrying any money. Now, to ensure that the teams
How long were you in the pub before the show?
To ensure that the teams construct a Queen's speech that's as close as possible to the real thing, I'll provide them each with an everyday royal expression which I'd like them to include. And Barry, your word is Commonwealth. Graeme, Corgi. Willie, Greek. And Tim, basket case. Now remember, teams, the object is not to complete the sentence. So when you hear the magical sound of Santa's sleigh bells, it means I think a sentence has been completed. OK, Graeme, will you start, please?
My husband
And
I and my
family
are happy to
be
Greek.
Comma.
However, I
and
my corgi
are truly
Greek. Although sometimes
the
Greeks prefer basket cases. Semicolon.
No, I think that was the end of a sentence, but I'm not going to waggle this stupid thing around, so... All right, I'll accept a semicolon.
Semicolon.
the
Prime Minister and
the
Greek corgi went
to
mow a meadow.
and
We all feel
that
we and the
Commonwealth
should pay Greece
for
all corgis which
apparently
aren't Greek. However,
the
basket case previously mentioned
by
my corgi which
did
big service to
the
nation when I
went
to Windsor last
September
the 50 if
anniversary
of the mounting
Commonwealth
conference.
Every time you do that, the reindeer gets splitting headaches.
I was going to say, that's not a verdict, that's me riding off into the night. I finished most of my Christmas shopping during that round. Well, it's nearly the end of the programme, though there's just time for a seasonal round of Swanee Kazoo. They do say that the gift of music is a rare and precious thing, though I have observed that it's still a lot cheaper than the gift of a 31-inch Nikam digital stereo colour television. Teams, as a gesture of Yuletide goodwill, I'd like you please to join together on those two delightful instruments, the kazoo and the swanee whistle, and provide for us a rendition of the traditional Christmas ballad, Walking in a Winter Wonderland. Tim and Graeme, I'd like you to be the swanee whistlers, and Barry and Willie, I'd like you to operate the kazoos. You'll be accompanied on the merry organ by Colin Sell. Hold it. Tim, for 23 years our good listeners and I have had to put up with these paltry attempts at musical expression. Surely, on this of all days, they deserve something slightly better. And they shall have it. For unbeknownst to our studio audience, I've managed to smuggle in two genuine members of my band to provide some assistance. So will you please welcome Paul Bridge on bass, Adrian McIntosh on drums. Okay, let's try and do it properly this time. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. You didn't know I had a trumpet secreted under the table, did you? And I'd like to thank Samantha for keeping it warm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the twin buttocks of time struggle onto the photocopier of eternity, and the tipsy secretary of fate fends off the managing director of destiny, I notice that it's the end of the show. Join us again next year for more of the same. In the meantime, from the teams, Samantha and myself, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Goodbye.
We present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell, and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue.
So I'm here with Humphrey Lyttelton, who is chairman of I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. He's a jazz trumpeter of legend, national treasure, humorist, calligrapher, and subversive, I think. Congratulations on getting to 30 years with this show.
Thank you very much. I don't know how we've done it, but it's nice to be here.
It's been 30 years. You were there from the very beginning, but you weren't always the host. Is that right?
Well, at the very beginning, I did the pilot. Because in those days, anybody who did any broadcasting, and I'd done a bit about music, about jazz and things, anybody who did any broadcasting and sounded articulate would eventually be called on to do some kind of a pilot, and that's a sort of sample program that one hoped would go out on the air. They never did. 90% of them went down the plug after they'd been done, because producers had a budget to do every year, and if they didn't do enough for them, they cut their budget, so they used to do them in that. And I thought this was one of them. I just went in, you pick up a studio fee, no chance of it coming out, so I went in and did the first one. They tried to do it all ad lib, which meant that I sat there in the middle of 4 people sweating profusely, because on radio with no time, studio time to go back and redo an ad lib situation, it was very nerve-wracking. So,
but you'd not been known in radio. You were a jazz man, basically.
Yes.
And so how did it occur to anyone to have you as the chairman?
I had started a program which is even longer running than this one in 1967, which was a jazz program called The Best of Jazz, and that still goes out on Monday nights. That's been going for 33 years or something. So they knew that I could talk into a microphone.
Hello and welcome again to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the show which does for entertaining panel games what being hit repeatedly on the head with a large croquet mallet does for small frogs. Or so I'm told.
I did the pilot, but when they came through and said we're going to put it on the air, I had already some dates in the book, with my band and so on. So Barry did the first one, I think, of the. He may have done a few more than the first one in the series, and I took it up from then.
You were sustaining a pretty hefty tour schedule throughout all this. Tim and Graeme were making the goodies all through the 70s.
Yeah.
When did you find time?
Well, it's not very, very time consuming, because we record them 2 at a time, and now of course we do them in huge theatres. I think 1,400 at Milton Keynes was the biggest, and so that occupies. We do 6 in the spring. That means 3 usually Sunday nights, and 6 more in the late autumn. So that's really only 6 days out of the year. So it doesn't occupy an enormous amount of time. And the teams usually arrive a day earlier and sort of sort out some things, like the musical games.
Right.
And I just stroll in just before the recording goes on. So.
Yeah.
The teams are going to sing for us now in a round called One Song to the Tune of Another. It's a game of such pure simplicity that to offer an explanation would be an insult to the intelligent mind. So, teams, what happens is...
I noticed you had a quick kind of read through the cards. Is that about as much preparation as it takes now?
Well, I have to do that because, as John Naismith told the audience tonight, he brought on Ian Pattinson, who for 10 years has written my introductions and the leads into the different games. And some people say, oh, we thought it was you. No, that's not so much. But in point of fact, for me, it's a bigger challenge. It's much harder to do and much more rewarding to do well than just to think up some stuff of your own, hit or miss. Because you've got to see to it that you don't torpedo any of his punchlines. And therefore you have to think about it, think about the timing and judge it correctly, so that, for instance, a good joke doesn't disappear in laughter or applause or anything like that.
Okay, so I thought I was slightly modest, because although a good portion is written down, there do seem to be these occasional ad-libs which basically bring their house down.
Well, that's all part of my persona on the programme, of a of a grumpy chairman. When I first did the first real show, not the pilot, I drove in thinking, what am I going to do? I've got four professional comic actors, and I can't do it. I can't chip in with anything worth chipping in. And by the time I got to the theatre, I thought, well, that is exactly how I shall present myself, as somebody who's come in the midst of all these people. And there's a slight hint that he doesn't really want to be there, and slightly grumpy about everything. And I've done that for 30 years now.
OK, the teams are going to sing for us now in a game called One Song to the Tune of Another. You'd have to be lacking even a basic knowledge of harmony and rhythm to fail to grasp this concept. So listen up, Jeremy. A song is comprised of two main constituents, the words and the tune, a bit like a bottle of shampoo and conditioner, in fact. The shampoo element can be envisaged as the words, cleaning the grease and grime from our hair, although obviously the words of a song don't literally do that. This is supported by the conditioner, leaving our locks shiny and manageable and eliminating unsightly split ends, in the same way that the tune supports the words, except that words don't suffer from split ends. Now, teams, I can see you've grasped the basics already, but yes, there is one question that still needs an answer. What about dandruff? Well, even the best quality shampoo and conditioner won't always guarantee to rid us of an unsightly irritant that keeps coming back no matter how hard you try. At the piano, Colin Self.
On the subject of ageism, is it true that I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue was going to go to television, but you were all deemed too old for television?
Well, I'm sorry to say it's a regrettable fact that 45 years old. We were a bit older than that, but it didn't make much difference. 45 years old is usually a sort of a watershed, beyond which in television they're always wanting young people to come in and do things. But I didn't want to do it. Willie Rushton and I held out, I think, more strongly against television. Because, as Willie said at one of the meetings we had about doing a television thing, this is, though we say it ourselves, it'll go down as one of the great BBC comedy shows that people will talk about, like Round the Horn and Itmar and all those things. And why, move into a different medium, which is, apart from anything else, going to be very hard to do. You can't have... One of the things we do very often is to play television games, but on radio. And things like we've done Through the Keyhole, and we do children's party games, Pass the Parcel, and all these things which are essentially visual things.
And the blinking game.
And the blinking game, which we do, which nobody listening at home can see what's going on. But you can't do that on television. And also television, there's a lot of hanging about and a lot of running through things, and then we just turn up and, virtually speaking, we just come on and do it, and it has a sort of freshness.
And looking at your audience tonight, you've got families, you've got young and old, you've got a rather well-heeled looking
yeah, well, it is
crowd
here. a very wide sort of range of people that we get for this show, and I know that because my audiences have improved in character since the show became, as it has been for the last decade, I suppose, a sort of like a cult show, especially among young people. Yeah. I get people who come to my concerts and they come up and I expect I expect them to ask for a request of a jazz number in the second half. And they say, "Oh, we're nephews and nieces of Mrs. Trellis," or in fact, sometimes they come up and say, "I'm Mrs. Trellis."
Did Radiohead come up and say that? You played on a Radiohead.
That's right. Yes, I did. I started on the sort of fringes of journalism when I was a cartoonist on the Daily Mail. I used to write things, and I learned very early on the sort of journalistic principle of say yes and find out about it afterwards.
Okay, but there must have been some. I mean, if they wanted a trumpeter, a session trumpeter for a track, they probably could have. Found one fairly easily, but there must have been some love in that.
Yeah, but the thing was that Johnny Greenwood, who is the sort of that guy who does the talking, he wrote to me and said, this is probably an awful cheek, but we've got a track on our forthcoming CD which we're having terrible trouble about how to treat it. And we discussed it the other day and thought that maybe the sort of New Orleans-y jazz that they'd heard some of my early records and things. So, what do you think about it? So I said yes, in that true journalistic fashion. And then send me a tape of the tune. Couldn't make head or tail of it. And this is where they find out about it after, say yes first and regret it later. But we had a meeting up at the BBC, and I said, sort of half-jokingly, I said, it sounds to me as though the sort of thing that might go would be New Orleans funeral music. Because, as you know, it's not Happy Days Are Here Again when they perform. And he said, yeah, it's a great idea. So we went in the studio and spent, I think it was 9 hours or 7 hours, gradually moving. They didn't know what they wanted us to do. We didn't know what they wanted us to do. And we gradually sort of moved towards it. And after 7 hours, I said, that's it. It's not going to get any better than that. But there's a certain sort of, working with Radiohead, had a certain, sorry, I haven't a clue, unexpected element about it, because Tom York, the singer, who's he writes wonderful things, that sort of always reminded me of that Procol Harum thing, the surrealistic words, and his are far out and great, and like when they came to us, we had to play the tape over and over and over, and I began to get the feeling of what he was on about, without ever, it's abstract, the concept of his lyrics and that.
Do you think that I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue is the best advert against equal opportunities there's ever been? Since it seems to be mostly a boys' club.
What do you mean from the point of view of the people, the teams, and all that sort of thing?
The panel, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I would have said the opposite, because I have nothing to do with it. I mean, I turn up and do my bit. I'm not in on any production discussions, like, for instance, Graeme Garden and Tim Brooke-Taylor are. But the teams, especially since Willie Rushton died, but sometimes before, when somebody was on a tour somewhere and couldn't do it, the teams themselves always choose people to be on. And we've had a lot of the young comedians on. One who immediately comes to mind is Phil Jupitus, who enjoyed himself, enormously. He made a little speech at the end saying how he'd listened to the program for years, and it was the best, He
was in the crowd tonight in the front row.
So I was going to see him backstage. Yeah. So the young element does come into it.
There's always been that sort of cheeky innuendo in the show, particularly with Samantha and etc. But it never crosses a line. I've found it remains innuendo, but never sort of spills into.
To tell you the honest truth, I don't really understand what any of them are getting at. I'm very surprised when I'm reading out an ordinary bit of information from the script, and the audience suddenly bursts out laughing. So. No, it all goes over my head.
So that's the secret. The secret is not to understand.
Well, the secret of it is to read what you've got in front of you. If you suspect that something has a double meaning, don't pause, don't put on a sort of leery vocal expression, if you know what I mean, on radio. Don't sort of do anything other than just read it. And if people see something rude in it, well, very few of them write into the BBC, because to do so they would confess that they saw something rude in it, you see, so they don't do it. I'll just read it. I'll just read it out.
On that subject,
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I was going to ask, you've probably answered this, but is it difficult to find younger comics to come on who know the boundaries? But maybe there aren't any boundaries.
It doesn't seem to be, because we've had I can't remember all the people. We've had Jeremy Hardy on, and we've had, of course, Stephen. We've had Paul Merton on as well. A very funny lady who's on the news quiz, and again, whose name has completely gone out of my mind, but she was marvellous. Oh, we've had Sandy Toksvig as well. So there's nothing, there's nothing sexist or ageist or anything else about it.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome our regular teams of, on my right, Willie Rushton and Tim Brooke-Taylor. And on my left, Barry Cryer and Graeme Garden.
I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue is 30 years old this week. How comes it's lasted so long?
It started in 1972. That would do it.
If I was to be serious, I think the main thing, which is Humphrey Lyttelton, is it's one of those voices. He's funny, he's absolutely filthy, but not filthy, brilliant writing by Ian Patterson. And that, I think, Willie Rushton, the really sad thing about this anniversary is that Willie Rushton's not here, because he's such an integral part of it. And I had a chat with him actually a week before he died, and we said, when will this ever finish? And he said, well, he can go on as long as Hump's around. And I think that's what we feel now.
Yeah.
Graham, you devised the show, and it's been said that the inspiration was greed and laziness. Can you explain?
Well, that's quite true, yeah.
Very good reason.
Extremely good. Better. Yes. We'd been doing I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again on the radio, and Bill Oddie and I had been writing most of the scripts. And we discovered that we were paid more for writing scripts on television, and it was not quite such hard work as writing for radio. So I came up with the idea, because I'd done a panel game and had been a guest on a panel game, and thought this is quite easy, really. And all you do is you give people a set of rules and then hope that they're funny, and then you just broadcast the funny bits. So we made up between myself and David Hatch, this sort of panel game with apparently serious rounds.
Do you remember who picked the theme music?
David Hatch, I think, picked it. He played it to me in his office and said, "What about this?" And I thought, that's totally inappropriate. That'll do.
There's another reason I remember doing it, because you'd been on a panel show with Giles Brandreth, and you thought, God, this is easy. This is money for all rope. So let's get a bit of that money, and we'll provide the old rope, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, we nearly called it old rope.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the money.
The music's a piece of music called the Shickle Shamble.
Right.
For anoraks out there.
Monte Carlo and Bust, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's finish off with a round of limericks. Here's one for you, Barry. When travelling in Holland by bike.
When travelling in Holland by bike, something happened that I didn't like.
I had a mishap.
When I hit a Dutch cap.
And my finger got stuck in a dike.
There was going to be a TV version of Clue, but you were deemed too old for television.
Well, we did a pilot, or BBC weren't interested, naturally. So we did a pilot for ITV, and everybody seemed to like it. We didn't get it quite right, but it was going in the right direction, and it went to the central area where they decided to put on. They said, yes, great programme, but could we have some younger people in it? Actually, the programme doesn't really exist at all, does it, without whatever age the people are on it. Took Hump out, that would be the heart of it.
Yeah. Can I apologise for hogging this?
Yes, you can.
I apologise for hogging this.
I'll direct something at you.
But I think we were at the back of all our minds. I think was the worry that it is such a radio program. I mean, it really exists on radio and works on radio and is about radio. But putting it on television might somehow take away from its its myths.
Yeah, that's true.
Might spoil the radio show. So we were never 100% about games.
I was 100%. As long as you kept going on radio as an entity.
I agree.
That was pure greed, though.
Willie was ambivalent, as I remember.
Yeah.
Sort of bolt fast at one point.
No, I would actually quite like to have done it in a way, because then you could have done some visual jokes, which you can't do on radio. So there would have been an extra element, and we started to try and put those in the pilot, didn't we? Not many of them worked because they technically wouldn't work.
As the language is constantly changing, I'd like the teams to provide some new definitions they may have spotted lately.
Polyunsaturated, a dry parrot.
Barry.
Hors d'oeuvre, women who hang round diesel pumps.
Graham.
Carpentry, a way in for ornamental fish.
Pokemon. A Jamaican proctologist.
Stucco, hitherto unknown Marx brother.
Gripe. What Australians make wine from.
Extemporary, permanent.
Loophole, a very long lavatory brush. Hot pot, stolen drugs.
Hormone. No, forget it.
The internet's allowing a lot of people to play Mornington Crescent online. Is that how it should be played, or do you need eye contact?
I would think eye contact.
I think so. Yeah, it's a bit like poker in that sense. It's better.
I mean, if it's the only way you can get to play it, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it does bring a sort of international dimension to it.
It does, but as you were saying, if you can't really see the other person, you can't play it absolutely properly. But that doesn't stop doing it. Well, there could be a board game, and it's not as good, but it would be worth doing properly.
Now, I'd like to ask you if you'll play a special round of Cheddar Gorge on the subject of Samantha. Tim, can you start and working in that direction?
Straight back in that direction.
Hold position first.
I
was once
in
the BBC
looking
for a
very
rare but
strangely
intriguing and
probably
hitherto undiscovered
version
of Samantha.
But
I found that she was
not
to be
seen
in any
other
portion of the BBC except
once
I went
to
the smallest
room
in the
BBC,
and there I saw none other than Samantha
and
her very
close,
intimate friend,
who
was none other than the
very
same person
who
was sitting
next
to me.
Full stop. I think that's quite.
I think that paints a picture.
We talk quickly about your careers outside I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. Barry, you've written for such comics as Kenny Everett.
I've written to a lot of famous comedians as well.
Morecambe and Wise.
Yes.
What sort of noises do we have to make?
Just can you do farmyard noises? What? A day in the farmyard. What? Oh, and over there's James Cagney.
Kenny Everett, Morecambe and Wise, Bruce Forsyth.
Yes. Yes.
Tommy Cooper.
Yes.
Stanley Baxter.
Yes.
Dick Emery.
Yes.
Dave Allen.
Yes.
Frankie Howard.
Yes.
Bob Hope.
Yes.
Jack Benny.
Yes.
Richard Pryor.
Yes. On one occasion.
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens.
You wrote for Charles.
Anthony Trollope. What a pain he was.
Tim, it says here you've worked on Me and My Girl with Richard O'Sullivan and has also worked alongside Roland Rat.
I have, yes.
Was that a great honour?
That was a great honour. And also, what was the name of the original page 3 girl? You know who I mean. Anyway, she was together, 3 of us together. And Graeme and I wrote for Orson Welles.
I read that. I deliberately left that out though,
because it's not funny after Roland Rat.
Roland Rat.
It's like Milligan I used to write for. You see, I liked Roland Rat. I thought it was good. You know, best thing the Director General did for TVRM.
Yes.
People said, "Oh, it's the man that brought Roland Rat." Yes.
Graham, a scientific question for you, so listen carefully. What happens exactly when Eric eats a banana?
When Eric eats a banana, he turns into Banana Man, I'm afraid. Ask Tim. Tim was involved. Yes. He's not entirely innocent.
I was Eric, and I did eat that Banana Man, and I turned into Graham, who was Banana Man. Which actually, I saw one the other day, rather good.
Still going strong, very popular.
Yeah.
Okay, picture round now.
Picture round.
First picture for Barry. Does that evoke any memories for you?
Yes, that was me and Johnny Vegas in The Weakest Link. We were the head-to-head finalists.
Did you win?
What? No, Johnny got it. I was just allowed by the younger ones to stay.
What was this?
Weakest Link.
Why on earth did you go on that?
Why on earth did I go on it?
Yeah.
I was asked to go on it, and it was charity. It was for charity, you see.
No excuse.
I do a lot of charity work.
There's a lot of work for vanity.
I do a lot of charity work.
It's the dominatrix you like.
Oh, yes, she does stir your... She does stir your loins.
I flee to the country.
Johnny got...
Why has Johnny Vegas got Mr. Spock ears on?
Yeah.
Well, it was a comedian's edition. And I'm wearing a wig to make myself look older. And it was quite an afternoon, actually.
Yeah?
A comedian's edition?
Yes, comedian's edition.
Johnny Vegas?
Yeah, but light and shade, and I was on as well. I'm cultivating a new act!
Graham, probably slightly less interesting one for you.
You said it.
Amongst the Teeth. What's going on there?
That's right. Gosh, yes, that's Body Matters, which I used to co-present with Gillian Rice and Helen Marion Davis, and we took a trip around the human body.
Where did you end up?
Well, we started there in the mouth. So,
right. Fair enough.
Leave the rest of it up to you.
Yes.
When we did the nose, we had Kenneth Williams sliding out of an enormous human nose. And they wouldn't let me say, "Here comes the bogeyman."
But you're able to say it now. Yeah.
Did the nostrils flare when you came out?
Being a doctor, do any of the other panellists come to you with their twinges?
No, I'm pleased to say they don't. They wouldn't trust me, for goodness sake.
No.
You can't have an old friend as a doctor.
Actually, Graham's very good at not actually treating us, but saying either go to the hospital or not. That's about as far as it goes.
Oh, he just says, "Don't do that" to me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Tim.
Oh, hello. Thought I was getting out of this.
Your picture.
Ah, yes. What's Graeme doing in it?
It's pretty obscure, that.
This was the In-Betweeners, wasn't it?
It must have been. Yeah.
It's the popular song we did in the 70s, to reach number 7 in the hit parade, called the In-Betweeners, and that was the cloaks over the top to the costume. It was a split costume that one side was old folk and the other side was glitter. And that's really what it is. I think we were probably on some very embarrassing programme.
Because when you're on Blue Peter,
quite possibly.
Did all the pop shows.
Yeah, Crackerjack. It's true. It's the way we got onto the top of the pops. Was we agreed to do Crackerjack. That's right.
Is it conceivable that there could be more goodies? And I don't leave Barry out of this because you've popped up in a few episodes as well.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Bless him. Well, we're be personal here. Have a word with Jane Root, who is head of BBC Two, and she keeps consistently saying, "No, I won't have them on." So,
right. Well, we'll start an email.
Yeah. Well, you probably remember the Goodies was 30 years old last year, and you remember the celebrations that.
street parties.
And 30 years ago, we won the Silver Rose of Montreux.
That's right.
Yes, Kong. And funny enough, we seem to get sort of passionate people now about it, because I went to Australia for a Goodies convention last year, where they'd gone on showing it, and all the people there were in their 20s and 30s, which of course is the audience that the BBC desperately wants to get on board. So,
This is how Humph describes you. See if you agree with what he says. Prone to argue with the chairman, slightly vulnerable, perspires a lot, a favourite with the crowd. People hiss when I'm cruel to him, said Humph.
Yes, I think none of it's true except the bit about perspiring a lot. I do that, I have to say. Yes, no, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. I'm very pleased with that. Move on.
Barry, Humph describes you thus: the gag man. There are no embarrassing silences, thanks to you.
Embarrassing noises, but not silences.
Bottomless pit of one-liners, able to come up with gags at a second's notice, provides the bricks and mortar. It's very nice, isn't it?
And they let me appear in it sometimes as well. I bring my wheelbarrow in.
Very good on plumbing.
That's very gracious of him, and particularly about my quick wits.
Anyway, what would he know?
And Graeme, you're described bides his time, picks his moment, a punchline man supreme, very dry, often has the perfect punchline which helps Humph to end the round on a high note.
Helps him, eh? Very dry as opposed to the rather sweaty me, is that what he said?
Was that Humph who said that?
Yes.
So I helped. I detected Graham's style in that.
I sort of put a stop to the fun, basically.
Yeah, but you bide your time.
Humph's very modest about his own comic abilities. What do you think his particular gifts are?
He's very arrogant, Alf. He would be modest with you. But, he's overbearing and quite
I was a fan of his when I was a teenager. I used to go and listen to his band, which still plays magnificently. And I still get a thrill out of working with Humph. It's extraordinary after these years. And he's such an incredibly nice man, isn't he? And very bright man. And he is modest, but he shouldn't be, because I think he's quite fantastic.
I still think it's him.
Yeah.
And how much of his stuff is written and how much is that?
Well, he is capable of writing everything, but Ian Patterson basically writes his script now, and I think Ian would say that the great thing is you're writing for a great man, and there's nothing worse for a writer than to write something that's delivered badly. Ian writes some good stuff, and Humph makes it even better, which is perfect for a writer.
Yeah, absolutely. And Humph does it, obviously. In the nature of the show, it's not all scripted. Humph reads his links and then we play the games, and Humph's interjections are his own, and very often they're showstoppers as well. So he is an extremely funny man. I don't think he knows how funny he is or how he is funny, which is probably a good thing. He just does it.
He's in a great tradition, like Kenneth Horne was in Round the Horn, and sort of the urbane man in the middle with all the idiots milling about, and he's never quite sure what's going on, but just wants to get it over.
And the seeming innocence allows him to be absolutely filthy, which is, Humph can't have said that, can he? And of course everything he says is du l'entendre anyway, so he hasn't said anything filthy. And he looks really genuinely surprised if the audience laughs. But he, as Graeme says, he can ad-lib. There was one we recorded on Sunday. It was something your handwriting so bad I had to pin it up and run past it to read it. I still don't quite know what it means, but it made me laugh immoderately.
The programme consultant was Ian Patterson, and the producer was John Naismith.
John, how did you first come to the show?
In 1991 it was. In his grandmother's will, in fact.
Did you make any changes to the format?
There was certain. I mean, I thought every new producer has an idea, I think, of the strengths and weaknesses of the show. It was not a show that I'd sort of consciously listened to a great deal, so I suppose I came to it sort of quite fresh and perhaps sort of relatively objectively. I think there was certain rounds that I thought maybe had been a little bit past their sell-by date. But previous producers had kept quite a good archive of past rounds, so I was able to sort of go through them initially. And I also had an exercise swiftly after taking over the show, I was asked by the Worldwide to compile an audio cassette. I thought I'd do a compilation of past programmes. So I basically listened to... Well, I phoned up the teams first to say, could they suggest any good rounds for the tape? And they said, I can't remember any. I couldn't remember any highlights from any of the show. So I listened to every single tape in the archive. It's about, I must be, 150 programmes or something. Which was...
Sorry, and then you found a highlight.
And then I found a highlight. I found quite a few actually, and they're on the first tape.
Ian, what's your first memory of coming to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue?
Well, in the non-professional sense, that's when I started writing. In the non-professional sense, I came to Clue when it started. I used to listen to it in the 70s when I was in the real world doing a real job, and never thinking that some 20 years later I'd actually be working with the guys and writing on the show, which is a bit of a tragic end to a young person's career, I know, but it is. But yeah, as John describes, Bob Fraser-Steele and I were writing the news quiz at the time, and the BBC in its wisdom sacked our producer, very sensibly in my opinion, and then noticed at the beginning of the next series they didn't have a producer, not so sensibly. They decided to let John have a crack at it. Only I think the two shows were in production at the same time, or they overlapped or something, which meant that John had been writing the links, and some very good ones too, I thought, I have to say, but that's not necessarily a producer's job, especially since it takes the bread out of the mouths of writers who have slaved years and done their apprenticeship for this, only for some amateur to make pathetic attempts at writing a few knob gags in his spare time.
OK, teams, to assist Stephen, you'll be performing these songs as duets. I think that's right. I can't read my producer's writing. It's the worst writing I've ever seen in my life. The only way to read it is pin it up on a board and run past it.
It's a credit to all of you, really, that it's gotten funnier as time's gone on.
How sweet of you to notice.
How very, perceptive of you to notice, I'd say. I think the bit, well, obviously, as far as I'm concerned, is obviously the main stuff I did to write for Humph. Humph wasn't, in my opinion, doing enough. Because, not because he's lazy, simply because he wasn't being given stuff to do. And I don't think anyone had ever considered that the point of having the chairman there was to do a sort of 10-minute stand-up act in between all the rounds. But in that, virtually, if you gave him the Argos catalogue, he could read it and make it funny. So it's not such an onerous task. But you just think, yeah, I can hear him doing this. And occasionally I write a link, and I think, well, that link's easily long enough. And I think there's another gag there. It would be nice to hear him do it. And, oh, hang on, there's a topper that could go with that. Well, I'll put it in anyway. We can always cut it out. But I do occasionally feel a bit sorry for the other guys, Tim and the rest of them, have to sit there while he grinds his way through a couple of pages of old rubbish I've been churning out the night before. You know.
The lines sometimes get pretty near the knuckle.
So not with you.
I'm talking about innuendo.
You mean knob gags?
I mean knob gags.
Oh, no, we don't do knob gags. There is no rudery at all. The words on the page are completely innocent.
Humph actually said the secret to his delivery is that he doesn't actually understand the joke.
I mean, he does read it as if he doesn't get the joke, but he obviously does. But he has got that fantastic knack of genuinely looking as if it's the first time he's read it. Quite often it sounds like the first time he's read it as well, but no, he really does have that ability to just pick it off the page as if he were, reading a shopping list, something you might casually glance down.
I don't think there's any better deliverer of a line, or a chairman of any other panel game, and I seem to have worked almost, so's Ian.
And that's probably because it was Olivier. I mean, Olivier was just hopeless. He couldn't read a line to save his life, could he?
Obviously, I'm talking about obviously the chairman of panel games, but there are, if you compare radio and television panel games, there are a few people that can get sort of laughs and rounds of applause before they've even introduced the teams. I don't know what the percentage of some people say, well, it's a sort of 50% lines and 50% delivery. But Ian has, because I've worked with him quite a lot on other ventures, both on radio and television, and it's not been completely unknown for some of the lines that Humphrey has delivered to have been used again for other performers, and I have to say that they haven't gone down nearly as well.
Has anyone ever phoned up from on high and said, I can't believe Humph has just said that?
I have sometimes get emails of praise from fellow producers, astonished that some line could have been delivered. Well, I got that with a Samantha line. Was it Italian? Some sort of Italian thing that she...
No, it was an ice cream thing.
Yes. She
was going to spend the evening licking the nuts off a large Neapolitan.
Yes.
And I really don't see where the joke is in that. I mean, she was simply going out.
It's an ice cream, isn't it?
It's an ice cream that has
with pistachio
nuts
on the top.
It has nuts on it. Yes.
She was licking as one does.
Yeah.
Licking the nuts.
She wasn't going to commit a sexual act on an Italian.
Yes.
I mean, that's just ludicrous to think that.
Yes. Also,
fat or otherwise.
When the dog breeders, didn't she go to the park with a German Shepherd?
No, I think it was time to let her whip it out.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So it's been 30 years. Any thoughts on how it's lasted and why it's still so popular?
Ian? Probably idleness on the part of the schedulers and their inability to come up with anything that could be better to replace it. It's a very good show with very good people on it. It's as simple as that. And it hasn't got lazy. I mean, there are plenty of rounds that used to be done which aren't done anymore. There are new rounds that have come in and gone fairly quickly. There are some 1 or 2 rounds which we've done which only ever appeared once and got fantastic laughs at the time. And yet, other shows would probably do that again, if not every week, adding tonight to. That's not been the case. And it's also got in the panellists, sadly no longer with Willie, but certainly with a choice of some of the best guest comedians in the country. With those 4 people sat there, you have got some of the best talent there is in the country, and a diverse talent as well. I mean, they come from various different schools, partly comprehensive, part public, obviously. And where was I? What did I tell you about? Going to the dentist the other week. I was completely lost, I'm sorry. But there's a fantastic diversity, which means that you don't have to do it. So if you watch an awful lot of TV comedy panel games, you could swap all the people around from seat to seat and not really notice any difference. I mean, their material is much the same. If you switched the set, if you turned away from the set and just listened to it, you'd have trouble telling who was delivering which line and which joke. But there's not that problem with Clue, because each individual does have his own style, and it all adds together like some kind of bizarre oral jigsaw that sort of melds together to make something a bit bigger, I think. And have I won my award for being pretentious prat yet?
It's a tremendous show, Tim. That's why it's lasted. And it combines every form of humour. Satire, nonsense, impressions, singing. It's even got a pianist.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous, tremendous show.
Graeme Garden, Sandy Toksvig and Tim Brooke-Taylor were being given silly things to do by Humphrey Lyttelton, with Colin Sell setting some of them to music.
So I'm here with Colin Sell, famously the pianist on I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. Does it seem like 30 years, and were you there from the very beginning?
It sort of takes me by surprise, actually, that yes, it's been going 30 years. I joined it, I think, 28 years ago. I didn't do the pilot, and I didn't do the first series. And then I joined it, and the reason I joined it was because the very young producer, a very good producer who'd been asked to take it over, was a chap called Simon Brett, who of course has gone on to do lots of other things, writing books and plays and heaven knows what else. But he'd seen me do stuff up at the Edinburgh Fringe, and he just took a complete chance on me. and said, I've been given this new program to do, and I've heard you play, and I've heard you write, you write music and you improvise, and you can kind of cope with those things that people sort of throw at you musically. Would you like to do it? So that was back in 1974. I was in short trousers, of course, then. I was a child prodigy, really. And it was, yes, it took me a long time to get used to it, because I was working, and I still am working, with people who were sort of my icons, really. When I was a teenager, I was watching the Goodies, and there was Barry Cryer and Humphrey Lyttelton playing jazz and all that, And Willie Rushton, of course, was an enormous name, particularly in the 60s. He made his name, really, doing That Was the Week That Was, and so on. So suddenly I was working with these people, and so for about 10 years I kept thinking they're never going to ask me back. They never asked me back, I'm sure they won't. And gradually, over a period of time, I've become, which is very nice for me, I've become part of the setup,
Yeah.
I don't do much in the programme, it has to be said. If you actually analyse it, I don't do a great deal, but I get a kind of reflected glory from it, which is nice.
Yeah. And there's a certain relationship, on stage at least, between you and Humph.
Yes.
Which people enjoy.
They do, and we actually, because we get on very well, but it's good fun to play that sort of, he's antagonistic towards me, I just sit and smile blithely at him.
It was back in 1972 that Colin first started to learn the piano. Within 2 or 3 weeks, he could manage to tap out a few basic tunes with one finger. Obviously, his later career never fulfilled that early promise.
And I don't have a microphone in front of me, so if I want to make any comments, I'll have to really shout. So you get this sort of disembodied voice in the background, which Humph always likes to play off and make rude remarks about me and so on.
So, have you ever got together with Humph as pianist and trumpeter?
Only a couple of occasions when we've done Christmas shows. He's had his trumpet there, and we've done the Christmas specials, and he's played Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and we've worked then with his bass player and drummer as well. And there was a book launch we did some time ago, 2 or 3 years back at Pizza Express, and we had we had a quartet then. There was Humph and me, and again his bass player and drummer, and we did quite a lot of jazz playing, which is very jolly. But no, we don't. Apart from these odd occasions, we don't work together musically. We're very jolly. We did. The only thing is that many years ago, I was asked to do the music for a radio version of "Look Back in Anger," and Jimmy Porter, Look Back in Anger, plays the trumpet, and so somebody said to me, well, why don't you get Humphrey Lyttelton to come and play it? That was a very good idea. So it was kind of sort of revenge, really, for all the times that Humphrey Lyttelton had been rude to me in the programme. We had a good laugh about it, because I was actually getting him to come into the studio and play my music and do sort of what I told him. And because it was smashing, we had a wonderful time. It was great. He did a very good version of what the sort of trumpet playing that Jimmy Porter would have done.
Piano accompaniment will be provided by Colin Sell, who, as far as we can make out, has never had to go through any kind of checks. Actually, we were interested to hear that Colin was responsible for bringing the Beatles to Abbey Road. Camden Council have just sent in the pest controller's bill for fumigating the entire block.
There's a huge love for the show across the country, and Humph recently played trumpet on a Radiohead.
He did, yes.
Are you ever, as an icon of this show, asked to make guest appearances and stuff like that?
I have occasionally, yes. I mean, I've been involved with the odd band. I've been asked to do perhaps the odd bit of sort of cabaret playing or cocktail playing, something like that, because people, regardless of whatever talent I may have, people associate me with the show, which is nice. So yes, there are little spin-offs like that occasionally, yes. But what's interesting is that nobody knows what I look like, because there's only ever been one photograph of me published by the Radio Times, and so nobody knows what I look like. So I don't get people stopping me in the street and saying, "Oh, you're Colin Sell," which is a bit of a relief in a way, really, because I think sometimes people, rather suffer for their being in the public eye,
Okay. Well, we'll put you on the website.
Yes, that'll terrify me.
I'm afraid that maybe no one will see it there either.
You shouldn't say that.
Any favourite memories of the last 30 years?
I do. I mean, I always enjoy doing the programme. I mean, obviously we all miss Willie. I think there's two things really. One is a specific moment actually when I was accompanying Willie Rushton, and he was just doing what he always did, was like he did his own thing, and he just called out to me halfway through singing. He said, "Keep up, piano," he said, which the audience found very funny, and I did as well, because he was just making it really difficult for me to follow. But I think the other thing, it isn't so much a memory, it's just a feeling about the programme, is that what is very rewarding is that so many younger people come into it and perform in it and love doing it, and they fit in perfectly well. It's not as if it's just older comedians and somehow shutting out the young ones. I mean, it's great to have, the sort of, we've had Tony Hawks and Jeremy Hardy and Sandy Toksvig and so on and so forth. And I dare say we could have even younger people if we wanted. We could probably, I don't know, people of the sort of the Mark Thomas generation. And the reason I say that is because apart from doing bits of music and so on and so forth, I also run the music at East 15 Acting School. And I found over recent years that there are more and more young people now who listen to Radio 4, and therefore I have a lot of students who actually know the programme. Whereas once upon a time, when I was teaching back, say, back until about the middle of the 90s really, young people weren't regular Radio 4 listeners, and therefore they didn't associate my name with any sort of silly radio programmes, and therefore this was a whole completely different story, So it's nice. We're obviously reaching out, and if you look at the audience we had tonight at the the 30th anniversary show, the Players Theatre, it's a pretty mixed audience in ages, which is very nice. It isn't just sort of people of our age and upwards.
Families, as well as a lot of a couple of famous faces here, and Judi Dench.
Indeed, yes, who's been on the programme, but she's actually been in it. But I've got some friends in tonight who students and so on, and they just sort of begging for tickets, So that's nice. That's nice. It's spreading,
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the plastic cup of time fails to emerge from the vending machine of destiny, and the scalding coffee substitute of fate splashes onto the unsuspecting crotch of eternity, I notice it's the end of the show, and indeed the series. But our regular teams will be back again in the spring, and what would the show be like without 4 top-class comedians? Tune in next year to find out. So, from Samantha, the teams, myself, and the fine folk of High Wycombe, it's goodbye.
Barry Cryer, Graeme Garden, Jeremy Hardy and Tim Brooke-Taylor were being given Silly Things to Do by Humphrey Lyttelton, with Colin Sell setting some of them to music. The programme consultant was Ian Pattinson, and the producer was John Naismith.
Present a celebration of the work of Willie Rushton on I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. At the piano is Colin Sell, and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Our first round is called Historical Postcards. In this round, teams, I'd like you please to come up with some postcard messages likely to have been sent by famous historical figures from a certain holiday destination. Willie.
Found this one from Wordsworth, from Tinton Abbey, saying, "Dear Dorothy, have you got a rhyme for either Tinton or Abbey?"
Graeme?
This is Nelson to Lady Hamilton. Having a great time at Trafalgar, apart from the pigeons. Captain Hardy has shown me great loyalty and affection, though I still have to remind him no tongues. Can't wait to be back with you. Hope the eye and the arm are enough to be going on with. P.S. Please send half bottle of Optrex.
Captain Scott from the Antarctic. The weather's not up to much. Catering poor. Oates is popping out to post this now.
And Willie, I'd like you to sing the words of The Laughing Policeman to the tune of As Time Goes By.
So would I. I know a fat old policeman. He's always on our street. A fat, jolly red-faced man. He really is a treat. He's too kind for a policeman. He's never known to frown, and everybody says he's the happiest man in town. Ha 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 ha. Whoa ho 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 ho. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha whoa ho ho. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Whoa ho 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 ho. Ha 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 ha. That's enough.
I'd like you, please, teams, to suggest some extracts from possible sequels to classic works of literature by new authors. And you're going to start, Willie, and I'd like you to suggest some extracts from a sequel to Moby Dick, as written by Raymond Chandler.
When I came round, I was lying face down on the beach at Santa Barbara. Then I heard a voice. I'm looking for a private dick, she said. I looked up. She was beautiful. Her body shimmered like fish skin. She had lips like Andrew Lloyd Webber and gills like Prince Charles. This wasn't surprising. She was a herring. I'm a dick, I gasped. Moby Dick, too. Is that a gun under your jacket, she said, or you're just pleased to see me? That's Gregory Peck, I said. I haven't been able to shake him off since the end of Moby Dick 1. She laughed like whitebait tap dancing on a bed of wet lettuce. I was in love and several sizes too big for her.
Our next round is called Notes and Queries. Glancing in my copy of The Guardian the other day, teams, I was pleased to read an interesting question and answer section which they call Snots and Queasy. So with this in mind, I'd like you please to pool your considerable knowledge and to provide answers to the following niggling little questions. Graeme, I'll put the first one to you. Do spiders have ears?
If you really care, Humph, there was actually a famous experiment proving that they have ears in their legs. Because if you made a loud noise, a spider will run away. But if you pull its legs off...
Well, actually, you've come so close to the right answer that... Because, as you well know, Graeme, you were trying to put it... I'll put it more concisely than you did. What are we talking about? Spiders do have very sensitive hairs on their legs. Isn't that interesting? Now, Tim, why should you never put ripe bananas next to cut flowers?
Because they stick out like sore thumbs.
Thank you, sir. I'll tell you why, because it's interesting. Ripe bananas give off a special gas, ethene. It's called ethene or ethene, which speeds up the ripening in other fruit and vegetation. Gosh. Willie, why do the clergy wear dog collars?
Why does the Archbishop of Canterbury worry his sheep?
The boring answer is that a visiting Roman Catholic order first wore them in the 1840s, and the look caught on. Barry, who was the Frenchman who proposed the theory that the wind is caused by trees waving their branches? And did he have any other interesting theories?
I know this one. This was Jacques Le Convert, who had another theory about farts were caused by people saying, "Was that you?" Wind-orientated. The man was obsessed.
I have here a not very concise real answer. It was probably a Swiss man called Jean Piaget who made various studies into Oh, God, I can't be bothered. Okay, here are some more for anyone to answer. Do giraffes take special precautions during thunderstorms?
Yes. They dash down to the chemist and buy an enormous packet of 3.
The official answer is no. Why are eggs egg-shaped?
Never mind that. How do hens know the size of egg cups?
Well, the actual answer is that the curve provides the strongest resistance to outside forces. Is it true that cows sitting down is a portent of rain?
Possibly, but it's not as reliable a portent as a pharmacy full of giraffes.
The next round is entitled Good Morning Radio. It's a game subtly adapted from morning television by adding the word radio. And changed beyond all recognition by adding the word good. In this round, teams, I'd like you to alternate as interviewers and guests on a breakfast chat show. As you would expect of the genre, the job of the interviewers is to prevent their guests from saying anything of interest. Points will be awarded to the guests for any interesting information they're able to slip in. So without further ado, let's find out who the guests are today on BGTV with your hosts, Barry and Graeme.
Good morning.
Morning.
And, well, over the years on the couch, we've had a lot of fun, actually.
And then the guests came in.
Yeah. And this morning we're very privileged to have Her Majesty the Queen and Princess Margaret. Now,
good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Mums, before we...
Morning. Good morning. Morning. And to all my people, good morning. And to all my sister's people, morning.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but...
So well, thank you.
Before we get to the makeover... I wondered if you had any hints on Caribbean cooking.
Just put everything in that pot.
Yes, that's what we do, yes.
We wouldn't touch it with a barge pail.
Do you ever go...
We wouldn't touch a barge pail. We don't know what a barge pail is.
Your Majesty, has your facial hair ever caused you embarrassment in public?
I once grew a 14-inch beard, just for the hell of it. It's just a trick of the light. It doesn't show on the stamps at all.
I don't want to hurry you along, but I'm expecting...
Who is that?
Gold
That's
trumpet
nice
in
Humphrey
waiting.
Lyttelton. He's going to play for us, eh? Are you going to sing with him, dear? Probably. We're beginning to sound like Hinge and Brackets. We are.
Willie, why hit by a golf ball do golfers shout for?
Because the ball has usually struck the victim before they can finish saying, for what it's worth, you're about to be struck by a golf ball.
Okay, it's around now to test the team's musical skills, known in the trade as a quickie. It's the round called Pick Up Song. We're going to hear some well-known records to which the teams will sing along. Luckily, DJ Samantha has an impressive set of 45s, which she'll kindly get... which she'll kindly get out and spin for our delight. She's poised at the disco turntable, ready to reduce the intoned modulation of the sound frequency to nil, a process known to radiophonic engineers as twisting the knob. As the volume fades away, the teams will continue to sing, the object being to stay in time with the record. If, when the music reappears, they're within a gnat's pizzicato of the original, I'll be awarding points, and points mean prizes. What do points mean? Prizes! I wasn't asking you. This week's prize comes from the Duchess of York's Essential Hair Care range. It's a year's supply of wash and go skiing. Willie, you're to start. I'd like you to accompany Frankie Lane singing Rawhide.
Rolling, 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 rolling. It's quite easy so far. Rolling, 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 rawhide. Oh, that's quite fun. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Though the streams are swolling, keep them dogies rolling, rawhide. Through rain and wind and weather, hell bent for leather, wishing my girl was by my side. All the things I'm missing, good victuals, loving, kissing, are waiting at the end of my ride. Move 'em on, head 'em up, move 'em on, head 'em up, rawhide, crack. Let 'em out, ride 'em in, let 'em out, cut 'em out, ride 'em in, rawhide.
Willie, one for you now. If the gents is closed, is there anything from stopping me nipping into the ladies?
Yes. Euro Regulation CP 45397277B, which states in the event of closure of gentleman's lavatory, you may only evacuate in your hat and urinate on the rear offside leg of a Belgian.
Well, I must tell you that according to Guardian reader Rachel Meir of Leicester, there'll be a queue in the ladies, so don't bother.
And the graffiti's much neater in there. Well, it would be. They've got
Jeremy.
the hands free.
OK, well, it's now time to play a round of sound charades. This is similar to the old parlour game of charades, in which the players mime film, book and play titles for the others to guess. However, in our version, as you probably know, the panellists have permitted the use of their mouths. Recently, we experimented with a similar game called smell charades. But we were forced to evacuate the studio after Willie did Animal Farm.
In stereo, be fair.
So teams making use of nothing but your verbal dexterity, I'd like you please to take it in turns to enact the title of a well-known film, book or TV programme for the opposing team to guess. Tim and Willie, you're to start, and your title will shortly be broadcast to our theatre audience via the laser projector for Barry and Graeme to guess. Meanwhile, here's the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Zulu. Zulu.
OK?
It's one word.
And it's a film. It's commencing now. Excuse me. Excuse me, I wondered if you could just...
Yes. Turn left at the Elephant House.
Yes.
Cross the zebra. On past the pelican, and it's third on your right.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
The end. Directions in a zoo, but one word.
There isn't a new blockbuster out called Whipsnade, is there?
Sounds terrific.
I'd like to see it. Yeah.
Does the syllable zoo appear in the one word?
It does.
You've got it, haven't you?
No.
What's the one place you find that you're looking for?
I thought it came out of my performance that I was a man with crossed legs.
Zulu.
Zulu.
Right, now, Willie, here's one for you. Will you please describe the beheading of Charles I in the style of an agony aunt?
Dear Charles I. It is, of course, so easy to be wise after the event.
So, of course, given the event, in your case, the reverse is probably true. When the head is severed from the body, wisdom tends to go straight out of the window. How sensible of you, though, to take my advice and wear 3 shirts. It was foolish of you, however, to ignore my best suggestion, not to turn up. So you were pig ignorant before and during the event, and even more so afterwards. But then again, you have a descendant of the same name who talks to lupins. And he's constantly writing to me, "What a family, love Auntie Will."
Willie, why... Keep this short, please. Why does one never see baby pigeons?
One never looks.
So, teams, time to describe for us some exciting new inventions that you consider might be of interest to the people at the Innovations Catalogue. Willie, how about you?
A waste disposal unit that sounds like Lloyd Grossman. They've done that already. You will not fail to thrill to the whistling dildo. A lot more fun than Ronnie Ronald, and admittedly not as much use as luminous car gloves. A bouncy Windsor castle. If you happen to have royal children. With inflammable west wing. And puncture outfit. Live dangerously. The Russian roulette cigarette lighter and nasal hair remover. Oh, there goes my dildo.
Moving on, we come to a new round called Salesman of the Century, which has nothing to do with Nicholas Parsons. But then who does? In it, I'd like the team members to take the roles of long-forgotten characters from history. Not much acting in that bit. They'll have to deal with a visit from 2 door-to-door salesmen trying to sell them something they never knew that they needed. Okay, Tim and Willie, I'd like you to assume the identity of Mr. and Mrs. Noah, and Barry and Graham, you can be door-to-door salesmen selling dusters.
Bing bong.
Sorry, I was downstairs checking the fish.
You met Mrs. Noah, have you?
Morning.
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 Morning. We're on a scheme. We got card. Here's my card. You can see it's got a picture of somebody on it. And we wondered if we could sell you any dusters at all.
No, thank you.
Well, we don't just have dusters.
Oh, no, we've got oven gloves.
Yeah.
By the brace.
What?
Mop heads.
What use?
Lovable mop heads we've got.
People keep thinking we say mopeds. We have to clarify that. Lovely garden you've got. Never seen one on an ark before. We've got sponges and chamois.
We've got a nice chamois. We've got 2 nice chamois. If you're sure.
We use the hedgehogs. You can buff something up lovely with a hedgehog.
Yeah, we've got some nice lemon cleaning liquid. You'll have the cleanest lemons on the 7 seas.
Those elephants must be a trial.
And
Japheth handles the elephants.
Who does?
Well, that's an offence, isn't it?
We'd rather not talk about it.
It must be very tall.
He stands on a giraffe.
You'll need stocking up. It's going to be a long time to Ararat. 40 days and 40 nights. We've got the timetable. Well, there's points failure at Peterborough.
No, thank you.
Squeegee.
Willie, now, if my sources are to be trusted, you've discovered some sort of diaries from the great Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi. July the 8th. First thing, I went to my spinning wheel and ran up a handsome pale grey loincloth that would set off my very nice new blazer. The question of the day, the big one, is which hairpiece to wear. Lord Mountbatten gave me his nice ginger one for my birthday. And it looks very fine indeed. Mr. Churchill is going to feel the rough edge of my tongue. July the 9th. I awoke to the delightful sound of my good lady wife, Mrs. Mandy Rice Gandy, singing Goldfinger to herself over the kedgeree. I emptied a bottle of Chartreuse over my Cocoa Pops and readjusted my toupee. Genuine.
Time now for a round of limericks. Actually, it's quite interesting where the name limerick comes from. It's a corruption of the old French word for America, l'Amérique. No, it's true. It's not a bluff, it's true. French migrants sailing to the New World will be blown off course to Southern Ireland, where they landed and mistakenly called it l'Amérique. There's still a large community of Limerick French to this day, as visitors to their annual festival of sheep burning and lorry wrecking will testify. Right, teams, I shall furnish you with a potential packed opening, which I'd like you to complete in turn, taking one line each. Graeme, you're going to start. A porter from Gonville and Keys.
A porter from Gonville and Keys grew potatoes on both of his knees.
On the end of his nose
grew a rare kind of rose. But you'll never guess where he grew these.
Tim, here's yours. While out with a couple of blues.
I didn't know which one to choose.
The one with the squint? Or the one with the splint?
I have both. I've got nothing to lose.
Barry, here's yours. While out on the cam in a punt.
I saw Reverend Spooner in front. He said, "What a day gay."
And anchors away.
And make way for my podding sunt.
And finally, here's yours, Willie. If you're studying natural science...
If you're studying natural science, I suggest that you wear this appliance.
You strap it on thus.
Then just hop on a bus.
And you'll find you'll get masses of clients.
And finally, a duet for you, Tim and Willie. I'd like you, please, to once more assume the identities of the Queen and Princess Margaret, singing Sisters.
Such devoted sisters. Never had to have a chaperone. No, sir. We are there to keep our eye on her. Caring. Sharing. Every little crown that we are wearing. when a certain gentleman arrived from Greece.
She wore the dress and I phoned the police.
All kinds of weather stick together. The same in my rain and sun.
Two different faces, but in tight places.
One thinks and one acts as one. Here's who've seen us. Never about to think to come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can.
Nobody can.
Lord help the mister who comes between us and our sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between my husband and I.
Good night. Good night.
You have been listening to a celebration of the work of Willie Rushton on I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. It featured Barry Cryer, Graeme Garden and Tim Brooke-Taylor, with Humphrey Lyttelton in the chair and Colin Sell at the piano. The programme associate was Ian Pattinson and the producer was John Naismith.
Present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the show in which laughter follows fun as sure as night follows dawn. You join us today in the splendid Liverpool Playhouse. Liverpool is a fine old city whose linguistic derivation is an interesting one. Apparently it takes its name from two Old English words meaning boggy water. The town is first mentioned in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle when King Edmund sailed up a creek of the Mersey and discovered muddy pools, who went on to become one of the greatest blues guitarists of the 9th century. Let's meet the teams. There are four performers who I first knew as hopeless beginners, barely able to string a joke together. And I can honestly say that success hasn't changed them at all. They are on my left, Barry Cryer and Graeme Garden. And on my right, Willie Rushton and Tim Brooke-Taylor. And please welcome our scorer, the delightful Samantha. Incidentally, exciting news. Samantha tells me she's expecting a visit from a film producer in her dressing room after the show, with news of a part he's been holding for her. He seems sure she's going to make it big. Our first round is called Chat-Up Lines. In this round, teams, I'd like you please to suggest some chat-up lines for use by the senior citizen. Barry, will you start, please?
I see your glass is empty. Do you mind if I put my teeth in? I say, baby, let's lock Zimmer frames and rattle till we drop.
Graeme?
Hello. Who am I?
Tim?
No, that's a war wound. Fancy a Horlicks?
How's your back?
Is that your colostomy bag, or are you just pleased to see me?
Your sheltered accommodation or mine? I could take you to a hip joint. I want to put my tongue in your ear. Take your deaf aid out. I want to run my fingers through your hair, so pass it over.
Now it's time to play a popular round called Pick Up Song, in which our teams take it in turns to sing along to some of my favourite gramophone records. At a given point, DJ Samantha will turn down the volume. Not easy, as she isn't used to turning things down. If when the disc returns, teams, you're within a... the Guardian sub-editor wrote this. It says a giant's crotchet. If when the disc returns, you're within a gnat's crotchet of the original, I shall be awarding points, and points, as every school child knows, means prizes. What do points mean? Bring back the cane, I say. This week's prize is something so comfortable to sit on it'll make you feel like royalty. It's the Parker Bowles recliner. Okay, Barry, I'd like you to start by accompanying Chuck Berry singing No Particular Place to Go.
Cruising and playing the radio with no particular place to go.
He's over 60 now, you know.
Riding alone in my automobile. Was anxious to tell her the way I feel.
He wasn't at the beginning.
So I told her stop it, dear. Angelina whispered in my ear. Cuddling more and driving slow. With no particular place to go. Oh, man.
It was John's crotchet after all. Your turn, Willie. I'd like you to accompany Buddy Holly singing Raining in...
You, but it's... Where have you gone? Raining. Raining in my heart. The weatherman says clear today. He doesn't know you've gone away, and it's raining. Raining in my heart. Oh, misery, misery. What's gonna become of me? I tell my blues they mustn't show.
I tell my
Okay, Graham, would you please accompany Los Del Rio singing Macarena? Thank you.
My dance, they call me Macarena, and the boys, they say que este buena. They all want me, they can have me, so they all come and dance beside me. Move with me, chant with me, and if you're good, I'll take you home with me. Ooh, you gotta be a Macarena. Call the buena. Oh, I call me Macarena. Hey, Macarena. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. It's the way that you do it. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Hey, Macarena. Now don't you worry about my boyfriend, the boy whose name is Vittorino. I don't want him, couldn't stand him. He was no good, so I ha 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 ha. Now, come on, what was I supposed to do? He was out of town and his two friends were so fine. Oh, look, Macarena.
Never mind. Finally, Tim, I'd like you now, please, to accompany Liam Gallagher of the rock combo Oasis singing Don't Look Back in Anger.
On my bed,
'cause you said the brains I had went to my head. Step outside a summertime's in bloom. Stand up beside the fireplace. Take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out.
Sit down, Miss Patsy.
Tune coming up. I'm so Sally can't wait. She knows it's too late as we're walking on by.
Oh, just
My
rupturedness.
God.
How those boys do it every night, I don't know. And sing.
Okay. The next round is called Sound Charades, and it's based on that wonderful old parlour game, Charades. In our version, the teams will take it in turns to enact the title of a well-known film, book, or TV programme for the opposing team to guess. And since we're on the radio, they'll be using a form of verbal miming and linguistic interplay known as speaking. So, Tim and Willie, you're to start. Your title is now going to be relayed to our theatre audience via the digital interface multi-screen sensor-round projection system, so generously funded by our hosts. And for listeners at home, here's the mystery voice.
The Simpsons. The Simpsons.
Right, you're guessing this one, Barry and Graeme, and off you go, Tim and Willie.
Okay, this is 2 words. It's a television programme. And it starts like this. Surely she's not going to marry that dysfunctional upper-class chinless wonder from London, England land? What, I ask you, was the matter with Gromit?
Cracking cheese, Wallace. Oh, what a giveaway!
Doo! At the end.
Not Wallace and Gromit, but...
No.
No, the odd couple is 3 words.
Chinless? What are they? They're puppets?
No, they're not, you silly clapper.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
Is one of the 2 words cartoon?
No.
No. It's not Potter's Wheel either.
Wallace could be a clue.
That was another headline from The Guardian. It was Edward Yates to marry Wallace Sampson.
Was that a clue?
No, not much of one. 2 words.
2 words.
Not a King's Story, that's 3.
Well, he took her name. Does that describe it to...
The Simpsons.
God, that was painful. It's your turn, Barry and Graeme, now. Your title's being displayed on the projection screen, and here again is the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Wind in the Willows. Wind in the Willows.
What is it? A
God, no.
film, a book,
It's
or
a film.
It's 4 words.
And a book.
And been a play in its time, I remember.
And a
4
play.
words and a book.
Here we go.
Here we go. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What can I do for you?
I'd like to buy a cricket bat, please.
A cricket bat? We have a very wide selection here, as you can see. Reg, I'm serving a customer in here. Sorry about that, sir. Perhaps I can show you some... Reg, can't you go outside or something? Do apologise, sir. Here we are. Now, look at this one, sir. Here we got the Compton Classic.
challenge. If you don't stop that, I'm going to come up and take that trombone away from you. The end.
Off you go, Tim and Willie. Go on.
Bats in the belfry or something.
Trombone in the willows.
Bats. Yes, that's it.
You're so close.
Trombone in the... Could it be possibly Wind in the Willows?
Okay. As we're about halfway through the show, the theatre management have asked me to pass on this message to our audience. Anyone wishing to avoid the crowds when leaving, please try to wait till the end of the show. Time now for the next round. Teams, I'd like you please to suggest some of our more traditional sayings and proverbs that might usefully be adapted to suit certain foreign countries. We're going to start with you, Tim.
Spain. There are plenty more fish in your sea.
Sweden. A soft voice turneth away wrath, but talk like this and they'll piss themselves.
Willie?
From Italy, accidents will happen in the best regulated families in Sicily.
And in Russia, they say, don't put new wine into old Boris.
Holland, if the cap fits, you're safe.
In Japan, they say get rid of these scavenging birds before you bring the harvest in. Rook before you reap.
In France, they say Le Pen is mightier than President Chirac.
In Eastern Europe, they say you can't bloody get out of Estonia.
Australia, love is blind, so brace yourself, Sheila.
Right, it's now time to play that old favourite, Spot the Ostrich. This is a particular favourite of Barry's, and he's been nagging me for years to play the game on the programme. Teams, you already have your safety helmets and feather dusters. So, lights out, please, and Samantha, open the cage.
Spotted it!
Well done, Barry.
I must admit I have played it before. But...
The next round is our regular poetry spot. Teams, there's nothing that truly beats a great rhyme, as once I thought, reading a sonnet from the page that had it on it. This week, our featured verse is the 5-line nonsense poem, taking its name from Ireland's unofficial nonsense capital, Liverpool. Or, as it's often known, the limerick. Teams, I shall furnish you each with a fruitful first line, which I'd like you to complete in limerick form, taking one line each. We're going to start with you, Willie. I once had a blind date with Scylla.
I once had a blind date with Scylla. I took her to watch Aston Villa.
She sang to the crowd.
And she sang very loud.
And that's why they threatened to kill her.
Okay, your turn, Graeme. I once had a trial with Bill Shankly.
At the end, he just looked at me blankly.
said, "You're no Roger Hunt."
In fact, I'll be blunt. You're absolute rubbish, quite frankly.
OK, Barry, here's yours. We went to a show with Ken Dodd.
We went to a show with Ken Dodd. The usherette said, "Oh, my God. He'll go on for years.
And he's bound to sing tears."
When he finishes, give us a prod.
Finally, Tim, here's yours. Out drinking with Bruce Grobbelaar.
He paid with some cash from a jar.
He said, "See, I saved this." So I gave him a kiss.
And he tipped himself over the bar.
OK, moving on. We now come to a long-forgotten musical round called Cyril, which involves singing the words of a given song, but in reverse order. They call it Cyril because, rather cleverly, this is lyrics spelled backwards. The idea to revive this old classic came to me suddenly one day as I was walking through Finsbury Park, or as Cyril players know it, Crappy Rubsniff. So, teams. Thinking caps on backwards, please, because I'd like you to sing along in reverse to the piano accompaniment of Les Nillock. The artist formerly known as Colin Sell. You know, I was interested to learn recently that Colin doesn't just play the piano. In fact, I have a letter here which says he's recently become very handy on the sax. That's signed by the Haringey Council Waste Disposal Department. Right, Tim and Willie, you're to start. I'd like to hear from you a backwards rendition of the duet, A, You're Adorable.
Adorable, you're A.
Beautiful, so you're B.
Charms of full cutie, A, you're C.
And darling, A, you're D.
Exciting, you're E.
Arms mine, feather, A, you're F. And
me too, good look, you G.
Heavenly, so you're H.
Idolize, I1, you're I.
Jill and Jack like we're J.
Kissable, so you're K.
Eyes, you're in line, love, D is L. Day, all on go. Could we be O-N-M? Okay, you're speaking alphabetically. T-S-R-Q, bomb. Complete like my make you. Sweet, very, your means B. C-Y-X-U double. You with alphabet, the low on the two fun hits. Me to mean you what you jump to.
That's the first time I've liked that song. Your turn, Barry and Graeme. Your backward song is Anything You Can Do.
Better do can I, can you anything? You then better anything do can I?
Can't you know?
Can I yes?
Can't you know?
Can I yes?
Can't you know?
Can I yes? Can I yes?
You then greater, I'm later or sooner. Greater be can I be, can you anything?
Not your no.
Am I yes?
Not your no.
Am I yes?
Not your no.
Am I yes? Am I yes? Cartridge single A with partridge A shoot can I?
Arrow and bow A with sparrow A get can I?
Cheese and bread on live can I?
That on one only and...
Yes.
Ratacanso.
Can you know, Teddy?
You then hire anything, sing, can I?
Can't you know?
Can I, yes?
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 Can't you know? Can I, yes?
That's very nearly all we've got time for, in fact, but there is just long enough, I think, to play a round called TV Seasons. This round was inspired by those themed Channel 4 seasons that tackled taboo subjects. Explicit programs have recently included drug abuse, weird culty religions, and non-stop kinky sex. And that's just one episode of Brookside. Teams, I'd like you please to come up with some suggestions for the titles of challenging films and other programs likely to fill a late-night Channel 4 season on the subject of gardening. Willie, will you start, please?
The Great Train Shrubbery. Privets on Parade.
Starring Petunia Clark and Robbie Coltrane.
Lorne Green, Patrick Moore, Claire Bloom and Kate Bush. Not to mention Graeme Garden.
Hello, Collie.
Back to the Fuchsia.
Laurel and Hardy Perennials. The compost man always rings twice.
And,
Grow bag in anger.
Bring me the hedge of Alfredo Garcia.
well, as the fluff ball of time pops out of the navel of destiny, and the nylon underpants of fate ride uncomfortably up the cleft of despair, I notice we've come to the end of another programme. So from Samantha, the teams, myself and the good people of Liverpool, goodbye.
Brooke-Taylor, Barry Cryer, Graeme Garden and Willie Rushton were being given silly things to do by Humphrey Lyttelton, with Colin Sell setting some of them to music. The programme consultant was Ian Pattinson and the producer was John Naismith. Presents I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell, and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the panel game that's done for comedy what Gareth Hunt did for rhyming slang. We come to you from historic Stratford, where thousands of visitors flock each year to admire and wonder at the site that once launched our nation's greatest theatrical career, or to marvel at the place where his wife once lived by visiting Emma Thompson's cottage. We're located in the magnificent Royal Shakespeare Theatre, and by way of a tribute to our noble surroundings, this final show in the current series would take a strictly Shakespearean theme. Now, Stratford isn't only about fine stage performances from well-rehearsed professionals. Oh, no. So let's meet the teams. They are on my left, Barry Cryer and Graeme Garden. On my right, Willie Rushton and Tim Brooke-Taylor. And warm applause, please, for our scorer, the lady who sits on my left hand. Heartfelt Samantha. Our first round... Have you finished? Our first round is entitled Shakespearean Headlines. In days of yore, teams, long before the invention of newspapers, events of great importance were recorded in tapestries hung in our national buildings to be inspected by the public and then taken down on Fridays to wrap around their fish and chips. In this round, teams, I'd like you please to come up with some likely newspaper headlines that one might have expected to find in the papers after a certain event recorded by Shakespeare. The event is the unfortunate demise of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. Barry, you start, please.
Dog Breeders' Gazette. Great Dane puts self down.
The Times. Blair says whittling down of royal family a success.
The Stage. Touring players unexpectedly available for panto.
The Daily Express reprints Ophelia's Panorama interview in full, where she says a surfeit of lampreys was just a cry for help.
The Guardian. Yesterday's headline, Laughter at Elsinore, should have read Slaughter. At Erinsborough.
In a thundering headline, the Sun tells the Prince, just be.
The Telegraph. Danish bloodbath. No Britons hurt.
Any more? I say, let's try another. This time it's the regrettable demise of Macbeth, Thane of Cawdor.
Gay news, Macbeth outed, admits laying on Macduff.
The Guardian. Boreham Wood seen approaching Dungeness.
The Sun. Few, what a Scotchman.
And the Scotsman. The headline is, Och, Eye of Newt.
The Glasgow Herald. Pioneering test tube baby kills king.
And Woman's Own. Delia's recipe for Dunkin' Donuts.
Any more?
The London Evening Standard. Tube strike off.
Okay, well, our next round, musical Shakespeare, is hugely entertaining. Except for listeners in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales and England. In this round, teams, I'd like you to sing the words of various popular Shakespearean passages to certain well-known contemporary tunes of my choosing. You'll be accompanied on the piano by Colin Sell, one of the finest musicians of the day. Of course, when night comes, something seems to desert him. Tim, I'd like you to start by singing the If Music Be the Food of Love speech from Twelfth Night to the tune of Hernando's Hideaway.
If music be the food of love, play on, give me excess of it. That's surfeiting the appetite, may sicken and so die. That's straight again, it had a calling call, oh it came, oh my ear, like the sweet hound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving, odour enough no more. Ole!
Samantha just told me that she can't keep the score because she couldn't hear Tim then for Colin Sell banging away.
I've just realised why there isn't a television version of it.
Barry, would you please sing The Quality of Mercy Is Not Strained from The Merchant of Venice to the tune of Leaning on a Lamppost?
The quality of mercy is not straight, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed, oh mother, it blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest, it becomes the throne, it monarch better than its crown is stepped to show the fall of temporal power, the attribute to order, blessed be within to sit the dread and fear of kings, but it turned out nice again.
Graeme, will you please sing the Blow Winds and Crack Your Cheeks speech from King Lear to the tune of As Time Goes By?
Blow winds and crack your cheeks, rage blow you cataracts, and hurricane spout, till you have drenched our steeples, drowned the cocks.
I love you, Mick.
You sulphurous anthored executing fires, vaunt couriers of oak-cleaving thunderbolts. Singe my white head, and thou, all shaking thunder, strike.
Finally, Willie, will you sing Hamlet's To Be or Not to Be speech to the tune of A, You're Adorable?
To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing in them to die to sleep. No more am I asleep to say, within the heart again 1,000 natural shocks, the flesh is heir to 'tis a con.
Let's go on to a round which is entitled... This is called Quoting Shakespeare. What, I wonder, can our teams make from a series of phrases or sayings first employed some 400 years ago? Well, apart from the script for the Jimmy Tarbuck show, they might like to introduce some culture into the proceedings by putting appropriate endings onto some famous quotes from Shakespeare's works. Willie, we're going to start with you. Will you conclude this saying? Some men are born great, some achieve greatness, and some...
Run British Gas.
Barry, how about this, Barry? I know a bank whereon the...
Former Foreign Secretary sits.
Graeme, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your...
Punchline.
Here's one for you, Tim. Though this be madness, yet there is...
Worse, late at night on Channel 4.
Another one for you, Willie. Et tu...
Et tu, but couldn't manage 3 Weetabix.
Barry, it is a wise father that knows his own...
Blood group.
Graeme, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more...
Wet and windy with a cold front moving in from the sun.
Oh. Tim, blow winds and crack your...
underpants.
Right, well, it's now time to play the game called Mornington Crescent. But first, I notice we've been inundated by a card from a Mrs. Trellis of North Wales. Dear Dr. Clare, she writes, so pleased to hear that Tim Brooke-Taylor is back. Without him, the show was like Hamlet without the balcony scene. Thank you, Mrs. Trellis. How true. On with the game, teams, which this week, in honour of our visit to Stratford-upon-Avon, will be played according to Tudor court rules. As many will know, this was the version of the game formally adopted by Henry VIII, and one which Shakespeare himself is likely to have played. Obviously, the playing area was considerably smaller than today, and many streets were effectively out of bounds due to plague. But it's basically the same as the modern game. According to the popular Arden edition of the Tudor Court Rulebook, at the passing of the codpiece, 'tis the holder who may nominate, except when out of croup. Well, I have with me the required piece of cod, which I shall now pass to you. Tim Brooke-Taylor, will you start, please?
Tyburn. I'm handing the piece of cod to Barry.
Right. Received. I'm not in croup, am I, because of that?
No.
Right.
No.
Not yet.
Curzon Street.
Pass us the fish, then.
I will lob.
But you...
What sort of radio show is it where you have to make your own sound effects? And quite frankly, a cod landing on a desk is bloody difficult.
As you proved so effectively.
Carry on, Willie.
Northumberland Avenue.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Ooh. This is haddock, isn't it?
It was cod over here when it landed.
Doesn't travel well. Globe Lane.
Oh.
Pudding. You're right, it is Haddock Lane.
Ah.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Hay Hill.
He's out of croup, isn't he?
I'm thinking, wait a minute. Well, it's a moot point. I'm going to rule that he's not, because it's a borderline case.
Okay.
Carry on, Willie, then.
Gin Alley. That fish is still breathing.
It's about the only thing that is.
Southwark Road.
Tower Hamlets.
Pie Corner.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Go on, Willie, go for it.
Let's have a glass of water first.
You're out of time, Willie.
Morning,
Oh, go on if you must.
No, I don't like to now. It's soon. I prefer to accept that Mornington Chrism.
That was a bit of an anticlimax on the whole, wasn't
Yes,
it? But then it used to be in the 16th century.
It's time now for a round of limericks, the simple rhyme scheme that still has devotees flocking to the Irish town of Stanza. Teams, I shall furnish you each with a fruitful first line, which I'd like you to continue in limerick form, taking one line each. We're going to start with you, Tim. That potty old monarch, King Lear,
was a martyr to chronic diarrhea.
He'd sit on his throne,
emit a loud groan,
and nobody else would go near.
Here's one for you, Barry. Oh, dear. That warrior Coriolanus.
That warrior Coriolanus did several things that were heinous.
he tortured the cat.
Set fire to my hat.
And now he's been sick in my trainers.
Willie, here's one for you. That jealous old soldier, Othello.
That jealous old soldier, Othello, let out a stentorian bellow.
He fell on his sword.
And shouted, "Oh, God."
That's the last time that I'll play the cello.
Finally, Graeme, here's yours. At an orgy, old Julius Caesar
met a virgin and tried hard to please her.
She said, "My name is Mimi."
Are you pleased to see me?
Or is that the Tower of Pisa?
Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is a game called Blind Date. It's based on that old televisual favourite in which hapless individuals can only wonder what humiliations are in store for them when the screen is pulled back. That's Casualty. However, ours is a special Shakespearean version of the popular show hosted by Cilla Black. And teams, in this round, I'd like three of you to assume the identities of certain desirable male characters from Shakespeare. And as was traditional in Elizabethan times, our female chooser will be played by a male child actor. And happily we have in our midst the exceptionally childish Tim Brooke-Taylor. But before Tim puts his question to them, let's find out the identities of the gorgeous men waiting for him behind the screen. Hello, number one. What's your name and where are you from?
Hello, Cilla. I am Richard Crookback, King of England.
Over to you, number two. What's your name, Chuck, and what do you do for a living?
I am Touchstone, stand up on Avon.
And finally, number three. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, please.
I am a messenger from yonder, and the Queen, my lord, is dead.
Well, we've met the talent. Now let's meet our lovely chooser. And doesn't she look great? You're certainly in for a treat tonight, lads. Now, Chuck. Do you have some questions you'd like to put to the boys behind the screen?
Yes, I do, Cilla. My first question is to Richard Crookback. Not a great start for us. I'm a keen market gardener. If you were a vegetable, what would you be?
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this leg of pork. And what better vegetable to accompany it than a parsnip? Roasted well. Aye, wench, a noble parsnip I would be, a fine, straight, full-figured parsnip with a slight hump.
Touchstone, could you answer that, please?
Marry, madam, I would as lief be a mirthful marrow as a melancholy mango, a blight on your allotment, mistress.
And messenger?
I'm still trying to remember the bloody message.
If you were a vegetable.
Oh, what ho, my liege? Stout Wessex. That's not it.
No.
A runner bean.
Oh, Cilla, I don't know which... Shall I ask another question, Cilla?
If you want to.
I don't.
It's uncanny, isn't it?
I like going out for meals in expensive restaurants. If you were a spicy, exotic dish, what sort would you be, and how would you make me want to eat you? Can I put that to number two, Touchstone?
If fate would I curry favour with you, fair maid, pop it on, my queen, I would be your man and your nan, my chutney charmer.
Pardon? No, number three, messenger.
Runner bean vindaloo.
What a spicy dish would Richard? What would you be?
I fain would be a Yorkshire pudding, drenched in the o'erweening curry sauce, and topped withal a white rose with.
Well, hark at him. I've got a third one, Cilla. My hobbies are horse riding and going to the hairdressers. What animal would you be to make me want to saddle you, and how would you like your roots done? Number 3, messenger.
Well, the wild boar. And as the roots, I think wild boar fertiliser. I think at the back of a wild boar or something.
Richard III.
A buffalo. Bold and quick, and with a slight hump.
Is that a slight hump on the roots?
Right. As to my roots,
right.
You know full well I like my parsnips roasted.
Touchstone.
I am a stallion, my sturdy saddle, tie my girth and mount me. As for my roots, they are streaky, cheeky, dozy, beaky, me.
Well,
Titch, my Dunmo Flitch.
Well, while Tim's making his choice, we'll now hear from Graeme, who last went on a romantic holiday in Marbella with his chosen partner. So, Graeme, was it a Laura fun?
No, Scylla, it was a disaster. She was unwell in the bus from the airport, and again in the lift in the hotel. We missed the gourmet evening in the hotel because she wanted to go for fish and chips. And then every night, all night in the bar, sinking lager, and really embarrassed me at the karaoke because I didn't know there was a dirty version of Nessun Dorma. And she insisted on going topless in the dining room with her pants on her head, smoking her pipe and trying to pull the manager. Disastrous from start to finish.
Ooh, I say. Well, next week, Princess Margaret will be giving her side of the story. Right, our next round is called Madrigal. How often, listeners, have you sat pondering what delights might be in store if our team members were to turn their talents to the musical pleasures of an Elizabethan madrigal? No, neither have I. In this round, teams, I'd like you to sing a madrigal whose title is to be provided by the opposing team. This musical lament will be accompanied by Colin Sell, and music doesn't come much more lamentable than that. Barry and Graeme, you're to start. Will you provide a title for their madrigal piece, Tim and Willie?
We'd like the lute song to be A Midsummer Night's Dream, and make it as lute as you like.
Who's that on the banjo?
That's a turbo lute. I joined a band of strolling players. 'Twas only for a lark.
We played A Midsummer Night's Dream in leafy Regent's Park.
I gave my bottom nightly, though my bottom's past its peak.
I did it in the open air. My case comes up next week.
Well, we're rapidly approaching the end of the show, but there's just time, I think, to fit in a round of Elizabethan Film Club. So while Samantha pops out to the local Shakespeare archive to enjoy the complete works, I'd like you teams to suggest some titles of films likely to be popular with an audience of Elizabethans. Willie, will you start, please?
The Armada They Fall.
When Harry Met Raleigh.
One Flew Over the Cuckold's Nest.
Bridge over the River Thames.
The Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
Golden Hind.
With Doublet Hose 7.
Round the World in 3 years.
Essex and the Single Girl.
Francis the Talking Drake.
Rebel Without a Codpiece.
Sword fight at the OK Corral.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Marlowe.
Well, as the little Andrex puppy of time scampers onto the busy dual carriageway of destiny, and the extra strong meat vindaloo of fate confronts the toilet out of order sign of eternity, I notice it must be the end of the show. So from the teams, Samantha, myself, and the fine people of Stratford-upon-Avon, goodbye.
Tim Brooke-Taylor, Barry Cryer, Graeme Garden and Willie Rushton were being given silly things to do by Humphrey Lyttelton, with Colin Sells setting some of them to music. The programme was produced by John Naismith.